Hello Flosstube. Today is Wednesday the 15th of October 2025 and this is Flosstube number 49. I'm Lindsay, cheshirestitcher, both here on YouTube and over on Instagram. Welcome to my channel. Mostly it's about cross stitch, but I do share other things. 9 times out of 10 that's going to be my beading, and I've got some of that for you today. Welcome back if you are a returning viewer. It's lovely to see you again, and a warm welcome if you are visiting me for the first time, whether that's because somebody's recommended me or someone's mentioned me that I don't know about, or YouTube's gone, oh, we think you might like this person. It's great to have you here. If you are visiting for the first time, I would very much appreciate it if you could like this video and any others of mine you may watch or may have already watched. It would be lovely, and you could maybe even hit that subscribe button. Right, admin bit's done. Apologies for being a couple of days later than I thought. I was planning to be here on Monday. What I hadn't realised was that my partner would still be off work. Cats, they're running around again, so apologies for the camera wobble. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a few more of those. Yeah, I hadn't realised that my partner didn't go back to work until today, so here I am today, a couple of days later, but there we go. Never mind, that's life. See, I told you there'd be more. Right. My notes are down here on the table in front of me. That's why I'm looking down as ever. So today I have got some more FFOs. I know, I'm still going. I've got a new start. I've got my temperature stitching. I've got some PhDs. I've got my take my teeth out, bit of beading. I'll let you know my plans. I've got a bit of stash enhancement, and then right at the end I'll do a bit of a life update, because I know not everybody likes them. So, lost my train of thought now. Let's get going, shall we? Oh, I know what I was thinking. Next video should be the 27th of October, which is 2 weeks, well, near enough 2 weeks on Monday, but that's my beading day, so the light, by the time I get home, the light might not be good enough for me to record, in which case it will be the 28th, the Tuesday morning. So we'll get going, shall we, with my FFOs. So first of all we have this, and I've done it again. See, I always forget something. You should know this by now. 9 times out of 10 it's going to be my board, and guess what I forgot this time? You got it, my board. I don't know. One of these days I will remember everything. It won't be, oh, I forgot to show you this last time. Oh, I forgot my board. Yeah. So, first FFO is this. Now, I finished this. Be easy without my board. Not long before I started recording. It's Scissor Sampler, and I think it was Shakespeare Peddler. Could be wrong, didn't check, as ever. I just pulled, as I did with Itch to Stitch, if you remember when I showed you that in a couple of videos ago, I said I just pulled out colours, and that was that. I thought, oh yeah, okay, I can do that, I can do that. So that's what I did with this one. So, yeah, it's been sat waiting for 2 years. And on the back, I had this. I had this fat quarter of scissors, and I thought, it's perfect. So there we go. So I couldn't tell you what colours I use. I mean, if you really want to know, I can dig the information out. but it was just using up odds and ends of Weeks, Gentle Arts. So probably some classic colour works as well. Is it classic colour works now? Or is it that the old? Well, you know what I mean. Crescent Colours. Either Crescent Colours or Classic Colour Works. One's the old name, one's the new name, and I can't remember which way around they are. Never mind. So there we go. That's my first FFO. I was debating putting some trim on it, but I've decided not to, even though the bottom of it where I've stitched it up is a bit ropey. It's nice and firm. Stuffed with the stuffing from a cushion from the range. As I said last time, don't buy a bag of craft stuffing. Go to the range or B&M or Pound Stretcher or any shop like that. It's cheaper and it's the same stuff. So there we go. That's my first FFO. I've still got a pile to do. Next we have this little guy. I think he's a bent creek. One of those projects that when I used to do indoor bowling, I would take some stitching with me to sit while I wasn't bowling. And I think he was one of those ones that I did at that time. I was going to make him into an ornament, and then on Saturday I went to the local hospice shop to drop some stuff off, and I always have a look, see what they had. Found this little frame and I thought, perfect. So I've got him in his little frame. Like I say, I think he's called a wee one. I could be wrong, and I'm pretty sure it was a bent creek, but I stitched him I don't know when. And I know I did him when I was out of the house because he's on Ada, and I only ever stitch on Ada for love quilts, or if I'm doing a project where the lighting's not brilliant or something like that. Rosie, get down. Get down. Sorry. And then my last FFO is this one. You might remember this frame from Stash Enhancement last time round. I can't remember. I know it's a Forever Friend, so it was an anchor kit. I don't know when I stitched it. I don't know if the kit was gifted or anything like that. Couldn't tell you. It's been sitting there for so long. But I thought this frame was perfect size for him. I may go back and redo it, simply because at the moment he's held in place with framers tape because I couldn't be bothered to lace it. So we'll see how it goes. I may at some point just take the back off it and lace it rather than framers tape it. But hey, it's in place. It's great for now. It's only me ever going to see it, apart from you lot. But there we go. So those are my FFOs for this time. So now we will move on to my new start. There's only one. I will put a link down for this designer down below. Now I bought this on Etsy. This is my next Love Quilt Square from Emily Joyce Designs. Is it Designs? Yeah. And it's the Calborn engine that's on the Isle of Wight, I think it is. Because it was for trains, this next one. So it's essentially a full coverage. So that's what it's going to look like when it's done. Lots of green. And this is my progress so far. I do take it with me on a Monday, like I've always taken stitching with me on a Monday when I have the boys. It's just that I don't really get time to stitch anymore, but you can guarantee the one time I don't take it, I will have time. So there we go. So I've started centres somewhere around here. So I started on the engine and then I got a bit fed up. I wanted to change, so I've done a bit of this. I'll go back, do some more green. All of this is like 3799, so they're really dark grey. So that'll get done in different bits and pieces just to break it up a bit, so that I don't get bored of the same colour all the time. So there we go. As I say, I will put a link down below for that. But that is my only new start this time round. So now we will move on to my temperature stitching. Turn a piece of paper over. There we go. Right, first one. Let me get my pad. I've normally got that on my lap, but not this time. Come on, wake up. First one is Quaker Diamond. And I've got a picture of it on here. I remember seeing it when I was checking. Was it that one? It must have been that one. Yeah, it's that one. So, Quaker Diamond. Take it out the plastic. There we go. This is one of my 25 in 25. It was also a Mania start. So I started it on the 9th of May. It's number 11 of my 25 in 25. I'm using 35 count weeks dye works linen in linen and Sulky Threads 1005, which is the black, and 4002, which is a variegated yellow. Now, I said last time that I didn't know if it was still available. Apparently it is. You can get it both as a hard copy and a PDF from 1884 Stitchery. So I will put that link in down below for you. So last time you saw it, it looked like this. Well, I know it was last time because the picture tells me I took it on the 30th of September. So that was last time you saw it. And I think I've reached the decision that I am not going to sign and put the date in it. Partly because they're over one and I've had enough of the over one on 35 count. Partly because signing and dating my work is something I've never really done. So that was it last time you saw it. And now it looks like this. It's had 3 outings so far for temperature stitching. So it's grown really, really well. Very happy with it. I reckon another couple of outings and that diamond, or that point of the diamond, will be finished. And then I can move up and do the top. So there we go. That's how it's looking now. To put all my bits of paper back on my car. See, I even remember to go for this one. Not like me, is it? Get that back in there. Now, as you will know, or should know, this is an American chart. And they don't fit in our standard plastic files. So these ones I bought, biggest part of a long time ago, in Ryman's when it was Partners. Same company, just I don't know what the difference was. But you can still buy them in Ryman's. However, they have gotten really expensive. They're about £9 for 25 or something like that. But you can get them on Amazon as well. And they go absolutely fine into a lever arch file, which is where all of these charts of this size are stored for me, and at least. But they fit lovely in them. So I just thought I'd let you know that. Just in case you've got these and you're struggling and you want to keep them in a ring binder and can't, because you can't find a suitable way to store them. Now, next for my temperature stitching, Goose came out. It's only been out the once. Last time you saw this, I'd finished Goose. Oh, come on, where's your picture? There we go. I'd actually finished Goose. Do I have a picture of Goose? No, I apparently... Oh, don't do that. Doesn't look like I actually have a picture of him. No. No, I don't. Sorry about that, folks. I must have deleted it. Oh, well. But he didn't come out at all in September. And he's only been out once now. So, Goose himself is finished. When I'm done, I'll see if I can find it in the deleted pictures. So, he's only had one session. So, I've made a start on his hat. So, again, he may well be another one of those ones that I just go, do you know what, I'm just going to get him finished because I've got more animal crackers to do. Speaking of animal crackers, the Jingle Ball tickets go on sale on Friday, and I was looking through the classes, and Stacey Nash has done an exclusive for the Jingle Ball this year. So I will be splashing out on that class rather than waiting at least 12 months for it to get it. It's a little mouse with supposed to be a gingerbread house, I think. But anyway, so this fabric is the same 35 count Weeks Dye Works linen in linen as the last one, and I thought I had a card. Apparently not. No. Okay, I thought I had a card for him, but I don't. He was started back in May after Sally of Flossy Sews and Grows and Elaine of Ellie Welly Stitcher and I met up at Abercan, and we were chatting over lunch and we all happened to say we had a cracker, so Cheshire Cracker Sal was born. So there we go. Our lovely friend Sue was supposed to come that day as well, but wasn't very well, so she went out and bought Clovis when we mentioned it to her. I know Elaine has finished Monroe, which is why I now have the chart, and Sally is working on Blizzard, and it's huge. Blizzard is huge. So anyway, like I say, I'm going to try and get this finished so that I can get the Stacey Nash one done. Have I said fabric? I've said my fabric, haven't I? I'm using the Called For Weeks Dye Works, and he's done 1 over 2. So there we go. I feel really out of practice at this. I don't know what's up with me today. Probably because I'm not recording on the day I thought I would be recording. So we'll put Goose away, store him in a bag that I made myself with my, I bought this as we were going down to Bournemouth on holiday. Found it in a service station. I thought, I'm having that. I know it's not always going to contain a giraffe, but that will be my cracker bag. And since the first one was a giraffe, it's staying like that. So next up, and this has only come out once. Find the picture. I spend a lot of time going, let me find the picture. Where is it? There we go. Cotton Twines Spring from March 2023. This is being done on just 32 count white I had in my stash because I subbed the fabric from the Ada that was in it. Started it on the 11th of January, and this is number 3 in my 25 in 25. So last time you saw it, it looked like this. So I'd finished the pink, and then last time I worked on it was when we went fishing a couple of weeks ago. May I remember I said that my brother's partner, my partner's brother was coming up and we were going fishing on the Sunday. Well, the weather wasn't wonderful. It was cold, very windy, and I spent the entire time sitting in the camper van, keeping nice and warm, with the heater going, stitching. And this was one of the ones I worked on. So there we go. That's how it is looking now. So what else did I do on it? That picture. Don't think there's that much actually. Started on the chicken, obviously. There's no way that was 100 stitches. I've done something else, but I can't remember what. I don't know. Talk about organised chaos. I don't know what I did. Did that one there? Did I? No, I didn't. I'm not entirely sure what I did, but I know I did 100 stitches because that chicken that I've done is not 100 stitches. Might be a few less than 100 stitches. But anyway, never mind. You can see I've worked on it. So, there we go. That's spring. So, it's only come out the once. And we'll get that one put away. Oops. Excuse me, drop my pad. That's not good. So, the next one, I think I worked on this on that Sunday as well, is this one. Morning Coffee from Stitch Rovia. Again, a 25 and 25. I feel so disorganised today. It's just, oh. So I started this on the 10th of April. I'm using a 32 count clotted cream linen and the called for DMCs, and this was number 8 of my 25 in 25. Now, last time I worked on this, it might have been my last video. I think it was my last video. It looked like this. And I said the pink was wrong. Well, no, the pink wasn't wrong. It wasn't wrong, but it was wrong, if that makes sense. This, let me see if I can. I'd miscounted. And that pale that's, you know, like supposed to be the cream of the cup of coffee was, I'd missed a stitch out. So that threw everything else off a little bit. So I just took that pink out and put those extra couple of stitches in. And I think this has been out twice. So as I say, that was last time you saw it. And now it looks like this. I haven't really finished off the cafetiere. I couldn't think what it was called, and I knew it wasn't a percolator, and I couldn't think what it was called. It's the cafetiere. So there we go. So I redid, I undid the pink and did the couple of stitches of the cream that I'd missed. I've done half the coffee cup, and then I decided that I didn't want to do more coffee cup colour, so I started on the orange. So I've done the has and started on the word up there, which is has, also has. So there we go. That's how it's looking now. 80 wide by 121 high. And I bought the chart off Stitch Rovia's Etsy shop. Don't need that. You back. You back. I have got it in Pattern Keeper. And I forgot to check what the stitch count is and what percentage I am through it on, because when I worked on it when I was fishing, I'd forgotten to take the pad with me, so I worked off the chart that I've had to print the chart out, because there's some bits of backstitch, and as we all know, Pattern Keeper does not count backstitch. So next we have the one I started in when I was away for the weekend, and I'm keeping it in my Welsh Dragon bag that I made one for everybody. So Lynn the Lancashire Stitcher's got one, and we all made, if you remember I told you we all made, well, Lynn and I made these little dragons when we went to thread a bead. So this one is Warm Winter Woolens. It's only come out the once. There we go. Bought it off a D-stash, I don't know how long ago. And I'm using 36 count Dust Bunny from Fox and Rabbit and the called for Crescent Colours. So there we go, that answers that question. They used to be called Crescent Colours, they're now Classic Colourworks, because this was in 2011. So I bought it off a D-stash, and it came with all the threads. And this is number 22 of my 25 and 25. There's the colours that we've there we go. So last time you saw it, it looked like that. And as I say, it's only come out once so far. We still have time this month for things to come out again. So now it looks like this. I just added more rows of brown, I think it's about 5 rows of brown, which worked out to exactly 100 stitches. And I thought, oh, well, that's handy. And there we go. So that's how it's looking now. As we are drawing toward the end of the year, I will be trying to get some of these finished. But I'll tell you about that when it comes to plans. Sorry, I didn't think about that. I did that without thinking and I zipped it up. I do apologise if you're listening with headphones. Right, so next. And this has actually been out 5 times. So last time you saw it, no, it must be that one. Yes, that one. This one is my snippet, Elizabeth Lincoln snippet from Northumberland Sample House, North Sample House on Etsy. It comes as a little kit. You get the piece of fabric, you get the chart obviously, and you get a card of the sampler, which is over there and not handy. So last time you saw it, pardon me, which was probably the end of August, because I don't think it came out much at all, it looked like that. Now, as I say, it's been out 5 times, so it's actually had quite a lot of work on it. So now it looks like this, which doesn't show you much, really. I have finished all the first half. So the alphabet is done up to R. The border is done. Oh well. The pattern is done up to nearly what, getting on towards R. So next time this comes out, I will probably do the stalk here, do these little bits on here, and then I'm going to have to move the hoop over again. So she's coming along really, really nicely. As I say, she's had 5 outings. Because she's come out, I think it's number 5 she's out. Well, that's what the temperature's been most of the time over the last week or 2. So there we go. And my last temperature stitch. I know I keep looking down, I do apologise, but if I don't look down, I can't find the pictures, can I? Is this one, the Stitch It Here, from Erin Elizabeth Designs. I started this on the 17th of July, and it's number 18 of my 25 and 25. I'm using a 30 count blue Murano and the called for DMC. There is a stitch along for tiered trays of any description or tiers of any description. So if you're doing, like, is it the Edgar Allan Poe tree? That's included because it's a tier, even though it's a tree. And that's being run by Stitching with My Little, and I think it's three cheers for tiers, Sal, something like that. I think I put it in the link last time, so I'll put it in a link as again. Oh, goodness me, take your teeth out. As a link again this time. So last time you saw it, it looked like this. You might remember I said I'd made a mistake because I'd added an extra sort of frill there. So that was wrong, and the scissors were in the wrong place. They're supposed to overlap. So that was what it looked like last time. And now it looks like this. Hanging thread as ever with me, you know what I'm like. So I've frogged what I needed to frog, but I haven't as yet restitched the scissors. So I'm quite pleased with how it's coming on. It's looking rather nice. As I say, I've made a start on stitching it in the hoop. I've got a couple of little bits to do in here. It's about 8 stitches, and then that tier is done. So I think next time it comes out, I will maybe make a start on restitching those scissors, which won't count because I've already done them. And then move on, and I think it's the sewing machine I'll start next down here. So there we go. That's that one. And that is the end of the temperature stitching. I have got another new start thinking about it, but I can't show it you because it's for an exchange. So when it's completed and it's been sent off and received, then I'll show you a picture of it. My exchange piece arrived yesterday, but I haven't opened it yet, so I have no idea what it is. So let's go on to daily stitching. So this one was one of my whip go calls earlier in the year, and with finishing the commission piece I got really behind. So this is the red velvet inscription sampler from Blue Ribbon Designs. Only mine's purple. I still haven't got round to finding out the information. I know roughly where the book is, I just haven't done it. I've been doing things like sorting out my craft room. So, which is a mess. It's more of a mess than it was because I'm trying to sort it out. No, don't get rid of the photos, silly girl. So last time you saw this, it looked like that. Now I aim, with the Whip Go project, my aim is always to do a minimum of 500 stitches. And I think I was part way through, I can't remember how many I'd done. But that was what it was the last time you saw it. And I have completed my goal on this one now. And here it is. There we go. So I've got the H block half done now. Really happy with how it's turned out, with how much I've gotten done on it. I'm using Needle Necessities 195, now known as Threadworks. So there we go. Really happy with it. I'm pretty sure the fabric is a Lakeside Linens, but I'm not sure the count. I do need to go and get that information pulled, ready for next year's Whip Go. Because obviously now I've done it for this year, you're not going to see it again. Unless I decide to do a PhD parade at the end of the year. Don't know if I will or not. I haven't decided on that. Still got 2.5 months to make my decisions. I have been thinking about what I'm going to do next year. And I've got a pretty good idea, but as yet, it's too early to firm things up because I could well change my mind. But I do quite like the idea I've come up with. Sorry for all the noise, I just want to get everything put back in, otherwise I'm just going to end up in a big mess. So next is this one. I'm doing this one. This is the 2021 Christmas Club Book 2, or Leaflet 2, from Shannon Christine Designs. I'm doing these for Kate of Sparklies. And I'm using 32 count Virgo. I think it's Virgo. Sparkly version. And the call for DMCs and Cryonics. So last time you saw this has been out a couple of times, I think. Let me look how many times. This has been out twice. So last time you saw it looked like that. In all honesty, I haven't been spinning my tiny decisions wheel for what I'm going to work on each day. I've just been running with what I feel like out of the 4. So, well, I did spin the wheel at the start of the month, and this one came out 2 days running. So that's how it looked last time you saw it. Started this on the 3rd of September, and it's one of my 25s. So this is number 20. And here it is now. There we go. So I've got quite a lot of his scarf done. Qualifies as a 25 in 25 because Kate gave me the fabric and the charts last year at Harrogate, and my cut-off was Friday the 13th of December to be qualified as a 25 in 25. Had to be already in my stash, so that counts, so it counts. So this is number 20. I think I've still got another couple that I need to start, but I'm kind of hanging on to those for like the second one. So that one and my, see how they run. So another daily stitch that has come out has been Peacock Cipher. Which I apparently do not have a picture of. Oh dear. Yep. Oh, this one, Peacock Cipher. Started it in 2018. And it came out when I was doing a challenge in June, the name of which completely escapes me. Was it Ghost Stitch? No, it wasn't Ghost Stitch. Well, anyway, it came out and I thoroughly enjoyed working on it, so I decided to keep it out. So 29th of January 2018 I started it. I'm using the called for silks, and the fabric is an oddment from Sparkly's box that she has at shows. You know, could be an odd size or anything like that. It's got a dye spot, anything like that. So last time you saw it, I just finished, apart from the little, as I called them, faffy bits in here. So when I've picked it up, it's only come out the once. I basically made a start on this line here. So there we go. So any progress is progress. That's that one. And because I had finished my red velvet, or my whip go of red velvet, I looked to see what else there was, what was next. I think I've done all of April's. I think I'm on to, no, April's and May's. I think I'm on to June's now. So I looked and I've pulled out this one. Gathering Honey from Luminous Fibre Arts. I started this last year as a mania project. And I'm using a 45 count linen. It's the first time I have ever worked with a 45 count. So last time you saw it, it looked like this. So yeah, say 45 count linen, and I'm using a dinky dye silk. I just looked through what I had and decided on this particular one. So it's 113, it's Cobar, and literally all I can tell you is it's a 45 count linen in ivory, and the thread's slipped and covered up the thingy. I've never, like I say, never done a 45 count before. Bought a pack with 45 and 50 on it, in it. So there you go, 45 count Italian linen in ivory. Really enjoying it. And it's had 3 outings now, I think. I'm really in the mood to work on it, so I'm working on it. And here we are now. So the first thing I did was finish off this little bit of border down here that needed to be done. And I came up and I've done the bee, and then I've started on the little flower underneath. I'm thinking, I know I shouldn't, it's not good for me, makes your brain hurt. But I'm thinking when I start finishing my 25 and 25 projects that are temperature stitching, I'm going to replace them with standard PhDs, and because I think this is one that I will be able to finish. So I've got the top border to do, which is what I will, once I finish this flower, although I may not do that, I might just start on the border, but I'm going to start that border. There's a bird down here to do, and then there's another, you know, there's 3 sides of border left. So I may well just put this in as a temperature stitch. But I'm enjoying working on it again. Keep your fingers crossed. I've got far too many PhDs. I need to get some of them done. And whilst I was in this bag, I found a chart for that, which I stitched earlier this year and was wondering what I'd done with the chart. And then I also found this kitted up. So I may well make a start on that as one of the last few 25 and 25s. I'm going to a retreat pretty soon, and it's only 55 by 55, so I may well start that on the retreat on the Friday, because there's a good chance I could get it finished whilst at the retreat, because I do enjoy stitching on letters. So you never know, you might see that. But it's all kitted up. I've got all my threads, got my fabric, vintage sand, 32 count I think. Anyway, though they were in the bag with it, which I hadn't realised they were there. And that was the last of my daily stitching. I've already shown you the Love Quilt Square. That's been out 3 times. So there we go. So now we're going to move on to my normal PhDs. There's only 4 projects left. We're good. So last time, first one is the Black Rooster Sal. From ID. I know that's not how you say it, but I don't know how you are supposed to say it. So last time you saw it, it looked like this. It's only been out the once, the day after my last video. So there we go. I'm using the sulky conversion. Started it on the 6th of August. It was this year's summer stitch along that was free. It is now no longer free. You would have to pay for it, but I don't know how much. I haven't looked. So I have done so far 1,603 stitches of 6,383, which is 25.11%. So as I say, I'm using the sulky conversion, and my fabric is 36 count Affogato from Fibre on Away. Now, if you don't follow them, next year Sew ID will be 15, and they are going to do a band sampler. It's going to be released on every Saturday of the year. I think the first one is around about the third or second, third, fourth, somewhere around there, whatever is the first Saturday in January. And there will be one band a week, and these are all bands that have been sent in by customers. So I will more than likely be doing that because I do enjoy them. So there we go. That's how it looks now. So basically all I did was a bit of alphabet up here. Still haven't got round to frogging that because that's in the wrong place. That should have... Oops. That should be more here. And I left it in when I realised I'd made a mistake because I didn't know if it would affect the rest of the pattern, and it will because there's a bit that sticks up here. So I need to get that undone. Still loving working on it. I just don't seem to get round to them. Just lately it's been do my temperature stitch, do my daily stitch, and then sometimes I've done the sunflower farm with Jeanette, but the rest of the time I've either been too tired. Some days it's taken me literally the entire day to do the two things. So it's just not getting done. Once the exchange is finished, which should hopefully be in the next couple of days, I can start getting back to things like Black Rooster. Anyway, next up is this one. ABC de la Broiderous, also known as Ada Butt. This was a 25 in 25, and I didn't pull the card out, but I think it was number 2 or number 4. Started way back in January, and I sat and I worked out and said, oh, you know, if I do about 3 inches a month, it'll be done by the end of the year. I've not done that. It is my focus project for this month. So I have made a start on it. So I'll say that's what it's going to look like when it's finished. Last time you saw it, which I think was in my last video, no, it's not that one. It's that one. Yeah. No, it's not. Hang on. Excuse me a minute. I'm trying to work out which one it was. It wasn't that one. It was that one. So last time you saw it, it looked like that. I had said that essentially Marches was done because flipping heck. Marches one ran across the bottom of this bit, which I was not enjoying. So I came and did this bit, which was part of April's, but going on the amount of stitching Marches was done. So that was last time you saw it. So I've picked it up, and like I say, I haven't done any on it this last week because I've been doing the exchange project. But here it is now. So I finished that band off, so Marches is definitely completed now. I've got like a little pinhead to do here and some back stitch, and then so it says fabric here, and then there's a border, and then I think that is like April's done. But my general thought is, if I can do, for a focus project on semi-sane stitches, you have to do 1,000 stitches. So if I can do at least 250 on it a week, then that will get me 1,000 stitches in a month, obviously. And you know, I'm hazarding a guess that 1,000 stitches is going to be roughly the 3 inches that I need on each one. But there we go. Fabric is 36 count. I think it's an antique white. I don't know. It was a huge piece that I bought from a D-stash. Didn't have a colour on it, just 36 count. So there we go. ABC Delabroiderous, aka Ada Butt. And I do want to get it finished. Anyway. So next up, cancel, is Sunflower Farm. There we go. This is a stitch along I'm doing with the infamous Jeanette. We have discussed how we're going to get her on my video. It will be an extra. I will try and get that sorted out to get done this year. Maybe her only appearance. I don't know. We will see. But anyway, so this has come out a couple of times. We've both come to the conclusion that we really do need to work on it more to get it finished this year. And again, this is a 25 and 25 for me, so that on its own is a big motivation to get it done. I was feeling a bit nyeh about it, as I said in my last video, because I'd been doing nothing but vines and I was fed up with them. So I have moved off those now. Well, I've not finished them, but so last time you saw it, I'd taken it out of the hoop because I'd needed to move the hoop, so I thought I'd just take a picture of it as it is. As I say, I've been doing nothing but this vine and these vines, and I was just fed up with them. Jeanette has now reached the point of where she's got lots of vines to do, so she's now feeling a bit nyeh about it, like I was. And I'm like, now you get why I was a bit not wanting to work on it so much. They are beautiful, don't get me wrong, they are beautiful, but they are very, very repetitive. So here it is now. My fabric is 30 count platinum Murano, and I'm using the Core 4 DMCs. I have made a change, which I told you about last time. I've taken out the S of Sunflowers because Sunflowers Farm just didn't sound right. And I put a couple of bees in. So while I've worked on it the last couple of times, what have I done? I've started on this. I finished this bee down here. I've started on the roof. Well, I've done that side of the roof. I've done the S and the U of the sunflower. I think I might have done a little bit of the green here. But there we go. We are going to make an effort to get this out at least once a week. But that's how it's looking now. So, yeah. So, thoroughly enjoying it. Had to sew some fabric around the edges because the hoop is quite a wide one. But I am now I'm off constant vines. I'm enjoying it again. So there we go. That's that one. And now my last PhD. Might remember I said that one of the admins at Cheshire Stitchers was going to do Strictly Whip Go. So I thought, oh, I can do that. She was doing it because she wanted to get some stuff finished for the end of the year. So I'm doing Strictly Whip Go. I don't watch Strictly. I have absolutely no interest whatsoever in Strictly Come Dancing. There we go. So the first week Thomas Skinner was kicked off, and I had assigned this one, Merry and Bright. I bought this at the 2023 Jingle Ball. It was a mystery stitch along. I don't normally do mystery stitch alongs, but I was like, it's about £8. It's not the end of the world. If I don't like it, there's always bits I can pull from it for other things. So there we are. And my goal again, same as it is for normal Whip Goes, 500 stitches. Well, last time you saw it, it looked like that. I'm using 32 count Ivory Murano on the Called For DMCs. I started it on the 10th of July last year for Christmas in July. And that was what it looked like last time you saw it. And I actually really enjoyed working on this one. So although my goal is 500, I did 667 stitches, and now it looks like this. So at the moment I am at 2,604 stitches, which is 50.12% out of, well, there's a total of 5,196. So there we go. It's on my Strictly board another couple of times, so who knows, next time I pick it up I may well get really into it again and keep going. I think there's another 1 or 2 trees to do up here, but I was a bit fed up with trees, so I did some border, and then I made a start on the reindeer down here. And then I moved over and did this box, and I have a 0. That is it, the pale green? I think it's the paler one. It's either 991 or 992. I zeroed. I think it's the lighter one. So yay, I have a 0. So there we go. Would be nice to think that when I pull it out again, for whoever it is next, that I could do 25% of it, but I doubt I will. But I am pleased with 667. So there we go. That is the end of the stitching. I didn't note down who was kicked out this last weekend, but my project for them is Dasher and Dancer from Hobby House that I started on the 1st of July this year with my lovely friend Sue for Christmas in July. So you'll see that next time. Again, I've got to get the exchange piece finished, and then I can get stuck in with those kinds of things. So there we go. Like I say, that's the end of the stitching. So now, my bit of beading. Might remember last time round I told you I'd started the Christmas mug from Thread a Bead, and I only had the lid done. Well, I've now finished the cup, and I was trying to get this finished for today, and I made the handle this morning. So I just literally, all I have to do now is sew the handle on, and it goes there and it will be completed. I worked on my beading for longer than I would normally do on a morning, because I wanted to try and get it finished. But by the time I got to sewing the handle on, it was like I'd done an extra hour and I hadn't had my breakfast, and I thought, you know what, I just can't do it anymore. So there we go. That's basically what it's going to look like. I do love a 3D thing. So yeah. I just need to, like I say, just need to sew the handle on. So I will do that tomorrow morning. Whether or not I will, pardon me, remember to show it to you next time, I don't know. Pardon the binging, I forgot to turn the notifications off. So now we'll go on to my bit of stash enhancement. If you don't like, sorry, I kicked the table. If you don't like seeing stash enhancement and you're leaving me now, bye. I'll see you next time, hopefully. So, there's not massive amounts, but first of all, a bit of stitchy kindness. Now, last video before, I ran a giveaway anyway, a couple of videos back, and one of the winners was Elizabeth Aston, and I have her permission. I checked. So yesterday the postman came, big pile of stuff, including, like I say, my exchange piece that I haven't opened yet, but he also brought me this little package from Elizabeth. So she sent me a lovely card. And I have to say, Elizabeth, your handwriting is beautiful. And it reminds me of my grand's. So yeah, so she sent me a card. And in the package was a chart. Now, this has actually been on my wish list. I was a bit mean about it until I saw Sally, Flossy Sews and Grows. She stitched it and I thought, wow, I love that. It's on, and put it on my wish list. So she sent me the chart, so I'm a very happy camper. I just need to see now where I can get the threadworks, because it was a particular set. But I am so chuffed. Thank you again, Elizabeth. I know I've already thanked you, but wow, I am really looking forward to doing that. But she also included some pieces of fabric. So we have a lovely blue, which I think could be Vintage Sky, something like that, from Swigert. Let me put my clip on the other side. And when I get the threads, I'm going to look to see if they might work on this, because obviously a moon's in a darker sky. But I'm going to see if maybe it will work on here. She did say that if I didn't want to use them, I could put them up, use them for a giveaway at some point in the future. We will see. But there's some lovely, lovely pieces. And then we've got this sort of, I don't know, is it like a peach? Beautiful colour. And a green. No clue what I can use any of these for, apart from possibly the blue one. But thank you, Elizabeth. It's very much appreciated. And I was so made up, and my partner was like, what's up with you? He doesn't get it. You know, he gets excited when he catches a 26-pound fish, which he did do while he was away. Well, there we go. Thank you so much. So, other bits of stash that I have acquired. I've bought a couple of PDFs off Etsy. It does have full wings and a full tail and a full pile of books. This is Book Dragon. I'm not sure if it's number 1 or whatever, but this is from Autumn Andrea on Etsy. His stitch count is 196 by 196. I was scrolling through Facebook, I think, and it popped up on my feeds, and I went and had a look, and my partner was like, oh wow, I love that. So we had a look, and she had a bit of a sale on, and so I bought him. Really looking forward to him. If my partner had his way, I would have been starting these the following day. And then the other one that I bought off her was this one. And again, he does have full wing, full tail, full pile of books. It's just the way it's printed out. And this one is 248 by 262. So I think there's going to be a couple of dragons on my cards next year. And these are some of those rare patterns that my partner has said. Oh, that way. He's like, well, when those are finished, she says they're going on the wall. He doesn't very often do that with my stitching. He appreciates that, you know, it makes me happy. And keeps me quiet. You know what it's like when you're concentrating. But he very rarely says, I'd like that on the wall. So he's like, you've got a bit of room around your dragon, because I've got that dragon there. That one. That's a beaded one. And then I've got Dragon Heart, which I stitched. Biggest part of a long time ago. So I bought those. A few days ago, one day last week, I wandered into one of the charity shops in town. I always go and have a look. No, not always. Frequently, there's a few that quite often have a few stitchy bits. So I wandered in one, and they had a bag. I bought a load of delicas. They're all little sort of dribbles in the bottom of the thing. And it was £3 for the bag, and it would have cost a lot more. For the amount that I've got, it was worth it. And then the same charity shop a few days later, I wandered in, and they had a bag with threads in. You know, sewing threads on a spool. But there was these in it. Ooh. It was £1. I bought it for these. This one is, can you tell? Is wider at the bottom than at the top. So, and then I've got, like I say, I've got that one. It was, like I say, it was £1. The threads won't go to waste because I'll use them when I'm edging fabrics. So, and then I've had another charity shop find. Like I say, the little one, the little snowman in the square, that was a charity shop. It was the local hospice shop, or one of the local hospice shops. But I found that in another charity shop. Nice frame, that. I like that. And it's quite weighty. Whether or not it's a branded one, I don't know. But it's quite weighty, that one. And if you remember, last time I told you I needed to buy a few things to be able to do some of the finishes I wanted to do. So one of those that I'd ordered was from Create Nostalgia. I've got a bell pull hanger. One of the things that I've got pulled out to finish is a Christmas, a Lizzie Cake Christmas, and I thought it'd be nice as a bell pull. So I've got that to finish. I just need to sit down one day and Google, because I've never finished a bell pull in my life. Oh, actually no, I tell a lie, I've done one, and I don't know where that's gone. Ooh. Might have to see if I can find that. Got a feeling it might be packed away with Christmas stuff. But I also ordered to finish something else. 2 lots of purple pom-pom trim. I know the project I want to do. I know exactly how I'm going to finish it. It just needed a bit of trim, and I didn't have the right shade of purple, and it's going to be that one that I'm using. So maybe next time. And then the other thing I ordered on the same day was from Threads For You. Again, you may remember I said I wanted a brown sulky for Merry Christmas to do the reindeer. So I ordered, and then I realised I didn't really have a suitable green for the trees. So going on the pictures on the website, I ordered a brown and 2 greens. I'm probably going to use that one, and that one's for the reindeer. So I ordered those. I also got myself a couple of packets of needles. Never have enough needles. And a bowen needle minder of a bobbin. I got a couple of Weeks Dye Works that I was missing for, well, not a couple, 3 that I was missing for Munro and Miss Hazel, because Create Nostalgia didn't have them in stock. I got those. I got my free gift was some little hand cream. It always puts a little extra something in there, so a little hand cream. And I decided to splash out on a sulky thread card. Now, I bought it because I thought it would be a lot easier if I wanted to convert something. If I had a shade card so that I could pull the DMC and match it up. So those are all the blendables, and it's proper thread. That was why one reason I ordered it, and there's all your normal threads. So there we go. So I might change my mind on the brown and maybe do a different one. I don't know. These ones in a green box are new colours, apparently, according to this. But yeah. So I'm going to have fun with that. And then I got the day I ordered it, I then got a message off Claire. And she said, I know you haven't ordered any DMC, but I see from my records that you haven't had a DMC green box. She says, although you haven't ordered any DMC this time round, she said, I felt that this order deserved a box. All right, okay. Is that okay if I said, yeah, I'm like, yeah, that's fine. So everything came in a DMC box. And I said, because I hadn't ordered DMC, but I had spent a fair bit. So, and I like the way that she actually said, is it okay if I do that even though you haven't ordered any DMC? Yeah, absolutely fine. Can't beat her customer service, I'm afraid. And then you got, in the box, there's a free chart. On that side, you have that's an embroidery design. And then there's some little cross-stitch things on the back. And that comes as part of the thing. I'm not going to show you the cross-stitch. The embroidery one's different, you know. It's mostly done in satin stitch, I think. But there we go. So those are what I had from Claire at Threads For You. So brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Now, I will put a link down, but there's the card. And also included in the box, now I don't have a dog, but my daughter does, and I kept meaning to give, well, both my daughters have, there's this. Now if you have a dog, maybe you would be interested. Basically it's a blood bank for dogs. It could be a life-saving blood, you know, like we have blood donation. I used to do that. I'm not allowed to do it anymore, but so it can save the lives of up to 4 other dogs. So that's the other side of the card. So if you have a dog, go and take a look. See if your dog would be worthy of it. How it works, I have no clue. I would hazard a guess that you go to your local vets and they do the draw. I don't know. Like I say, I don't know. I don't have a dog. But I thought that that would be something that my daughter would be interested in. I'm not sure how old my oldest daughter's dog is, but I do know that my youngest daughter, the one with the boys that I look after, her dog is she's only just over 1. She was 1 on Father's Day this year. So, last bit, because I forgot to grab one. Let me see if I can find it quite quickly. Can I? No. It arrived yesterday along with all the other post. Lovely big pile of post, and I don't have it. What have I done with it? Oh well, I'll show it you next time. It was my Silks for You. Like I say, I always forget something. Now, Monday, I went to the range and needed a few bits and pieces. I'm having a wander around and I came across these wooden slices, 2 in a pack. I thought, oh, they'd be nice for finishing something. They were $2.99 each. No, $2.99 for the 2. So like £1.50 each. And they are, it says 13 centimetres, so what's that, about 5 inches? About 5 inches, give or take. But I thought, you know what, they'd be really nice to finish. You could do anything you like with them. So, and that was in the range. I can't remember what aisle they were on. But just, if you've got a range, go and have a wander around if you want something like this. $2.99. Go for it. Your partner's going, what are you getting them for? Oh, finishing. So, that's it for stash. So the only thing I've got left now is a bit of a life update. Well, if you're going because you don't want to know what's going on in my life, bye. I'll see you next time. Life. Now, I told you last time that my son-in-law-to-be had a stroke. He's home. He's doing okay. Last update I had, he's sometimes going to bed at the same time as my grandson, who is 3. So, you know, 7 o'clock at night, and he's going to bed because he's just so tired. And he spends a lot of the day sitting under a blanket because he's cold. But that apparently is one of the side effects of the medication. And he's been gaming quite a lot to improve his hand-eye coordination. So it's still, you know, it's still got a way to go, but he's getting there, thankfully. The friend who lost her son, as you can imagine, she is a complete and utter mess. She's lost, and I can understand that. It's not something I've ever had to go through. So if you could continue to keep both of those people in your thoughts, I would be quite happy, quite grateful. And other than that, there's not a lot really. Daisy, the car. I don't know if I told you last time she'd gone in to have some investigation work done. Well, we now know what the problem is, and although it's currently not an issue, we're going to get it fixed because it's something to do with the steering. And as the guy said to me, he said it's not going to come off anytime soon, but it does clunk, and when you're driving down the road, clunk, clunk, it's irritating. And after a discussion with my partner, we were like, well, we may as well get it done, because if it comes off and I'm driving down the motorway or something like that, it could A, cause a massive accident, which I would not like at all. Well, neither would anybody else, but you know, it could do so much damage that it's gonna wreck the car off, so it's not worth it. So for what it's going to cost, we're going to get it done. So that's going in tomorrow. And other than that, there's not a lot going on. The partner's back at work today after 2 weeks off, and I was like, yes. Even though most of the 2 weeks he's been off, he hasn't been here. He's either been down at his brother's or he's been doing jobs. Well, you know, he's been here, but he's been working outside getting stuff done. And he went on another fishing trip, so most of last week I was on my own. So that's it really. I've got a retreat coming up in a few weeks' time in Yorkshire. Last one of the year. I'll just keep plodding on. I don't lead a very interesting life. I don't have anything exciting happening. So there we go. I'll just keep plodding on, carrying on with my stitching. That's my phone. So I will love you and leave you. If you're thinking you know that music, it's the theme from Van Helsing, the film with Hugh Jackman. Right, so I will love you and I will leave you, and I will see you on either the 27th or the 28th, depending on the lighting on the 27th, because as I say, it's my beading day. Take care of yourselves, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.